Moo is going to show you how to turn pineapple peels into a delicious drink. Today we're going to make Tepache together. It's a fermented drink like this. For this recipe, I'm using 125 grams of sugar, friends. I'm using 100 grams of pineapple peel. After we've unwrapped all the Fox's Mixed Berries candies, we'll use water to boil them. For this Tepache with Fox's Mixed Berries recipe, I'm using 1 liter of water and 200 grams of white sugar. First, we'll boil the water. Pour 200 ml of water into the pot and turn on the stove. We need to bring the water to a boil first. Then, we'll add the Fox's Mixed Berries candies directly into the pot. We'll boil the candies until they dissolve first. Once we see that the candies have dissolved, we'll add 200 grams of white sugar. Just pour it right in. Go ahead and add the sugar, everyone. If we don't stir it, the sugar will stick to the bottom of the pot and burn. It'll smell burnt and won't taste good. Once the sugar has completely dissolved and the candies have all melted, we'll turn off the stove. We've already turned off the stove. Now, we need to let the syrup that we boiled with the candies cool down to room temperature before we can move on to the fermentation step. Don't be impatient, everyone. If we pour the syrup while it's still hot or even warm, the party will be ruined because the yeast will die. We have to wait until the syrup we boiled with the candies or sugar cools down to room temperature only. Then can we proceed. I'll be back to update you on the next step. Now the tofu has been resting until the syrup boiled with the fox candies has cooled to room temperature. We will now add the remaining water. In the recipe we're using here, I use 1 liter of water. We've already used 200 ml of that to boil the candies with the sugar. So now we'll add the remaining 800 ml of water, use another 800 ml of water. Okay, that's 800 ml. Now, friends, you can pour it into the pot. After pouring it in, stir to combine all the ingredients. We're using room temperature water here. Stir until everything is well mixed. We'll be fermenting this in a glass jar. For the pineapple peels, make sure to wash them thoroughly and cut them into small pieces. We're using 100 grams just, put them straight into the fermentation jar. Once you've added the pineapple peels, pour in the mixed liquid that we prepared earlier. After pouring in the liquid, make sure to seal the lid tightly. Then, write a label and stick it on the jar. We're making Fox Midberry, okay? Auntie Moo started fermenting it on June 20th. We'll let it ferment at room temperature for 3 nights, 20th, 21st, and 22nd. However you count the days, just make sure it's 3 days. Once the fermentation is complete, we'll strain out the solids. Today, Auntie Moo is here to give an update on the Fox Midberry syrup. It's been 3 nights now, friends. After the first day of fermentation, make sure to give the jar a good shake. On the second day, friends, give the jar a shake. On the third day, shake the jar again. We'll be shaking the jar like this once a day, okay? You see, shaking the jar helps the yeast work evenly throughout. It also increases the oxygen inside the jar. Look, when we shake the jar, it allows everything to work more thoroughly. The airflow helps the fermentation process work better, see? Today marks the completion of 3 days, so we're going to strain out the solids and transfer the liquid into bottles, friends. The bottles we use to ferment Tepache must be soda bottles only, okay? You can use large glass soda bottles or plastic soda bottles like this one. But if it's just a regular plastic drinking water bottle, you can't use it to ferment Tepache, friends, because it will swell up. That's because Tepache produces a lot of acid and gas during fermentation, friends. While we're fermenting in the bottle, it works by creating acid and gas, which is what gives our Tepache its fizz. We'll strain it through a sieve. When straining like this, we don't use the pulp wheel, just discard it. After we've strained and poured it into the bottle, we'll seal the cap tightly, as tight as you can by hand. This is how I, Aunt Moo, seal the bottle. After 1 night, check your bottle. If your bottle is swollen and firm and you can't press it down like this, it means the fermented liquid is ready to use. That means it's fully activated and working perfectly. I'm going to let the mixture ferment in the bottle for 3 nights. Today, I'm here to give you an update on the fermented Fox's Mixed Berry candy. I've been fermenting it at room temperature for 5 nights now. The reason for fermenting it for 5 nights is because I want it to be fizzy, so I let it ferment for 5 nights. If you prefer it to still have some sweetness left, You can ferment it for 3 or 4 nights, but if you want it to be really fizzy, just let it ferment for 5 or even 6 nights. Can you see how fizzy it is? Doesn't it look tempting to drink? It looks very tempting.